to YPL video number 3. The 3 primary factors. Step number 2. So why do you need prosperity? Well, that differs from person to person. Prosperity is essential for various reasons as it contributes to your overall well-being and advancement of every individual as well as the societies. Prosperity is in fact a multifaceted concept that extends beyond financial wealth. It plays a crucial role in fostering individual well-being, community development and social progress, creating a foundation for more fulfillment and a substantiable future. So now let us try to understand which is the most important primary factor of your life. Is it wealth or health or knowledge or the fourth option, all of the above? So what's your answer? Please note the answer. The most important factor in your life is dash. Out of the 4 choices, you can choose one among them. So the factors discussed in the previous slide, do you think is the most important or the first primary factor? Well, when we had the survey recently, out of 600 respondents, this is what was the answers, what we found. So let's check out the survey. 90% of them stated that in their life, the most important factor is wealth. Only 6% had given concentration towards health, and 3% had given their acknowledgement towards knowledge. And out of this 600 respondents, 600 plus respondent, only 1% of them gave the answer that they require all the 3. So let's try to understand what is the outcome of the scenarios as per the thinkings. So in our survey, 90% have considered that wealth is power. So what would happen if wealth is not there? So no wealth means poverty. So let's now just imagine this scenario. How is life without prosperity? So what is your answer to this particular query? That means the absence of prosperity may contribute to lower overall well-being, impacting the mental and physical health of any individual and also the diminishing quality of life for that particular individual. So what are the implications because of this poverty? Let's try to understand the reasons for this. So poverty is due to, the first reason might be unemployment rate is rising. The second reason is global recession. The third reason might be no increments or annual increments, or maybe there is no rise in annual increments. So what would impact due to these reasons? Means everyone has to struggle for their basic need. Because of this, it can result in struggling to meet the basic needs such as food, shelter and healthcare, often leading to a challenging and stressful life. The second point here is limited opportunities. Individuals without prosperity may face limited access to education, employment, and other opportunities, because of which they will be hindering their personal and professional growth. The third point is reduced well being. Due to the absence of prosperity, the overall well being might be lowered, impacting the mental and physical health and also diminishing the quality of for that particular individual. So let's try to understand how is your life with wealth prosperity. So what's your answer on this? And also at the same time, please make note of your answer in one or two sentences. Well, wealth is not just about having a pocket full of money. It is the ability to fill hearts with opportunities, mind with knowledge, and futures with possibilities. Extends beyond merely the financial abundance. It's the capacity to enrich lives in various ways. It goes beyond a pocket filled with money to the profound ability to provide opportunities, impairing knowledge, and also it opens up the world of possibilities. True wealth lies in the positive impact we make in the lives of others, fostering a community where hearts are filled with opportunities, minds are enriched with knowledge, and futures are brimming with potentials. So let's try to understand the purpose of having wealth prosperity in your life. Assessing wealth prosperity often involves evaluating various financial and lifestyle factors that determines how well an individual or an household is doing economically in their life. At the same time, before going into the next this one, let us try to analyze what are the myths that is existing within our societies. The first myth is what is the elders' advice to their children? See, our earlier generation had advised us, we are advising it to our next generation, and the next generation, when they become parents or elders, they would be advising the same to the next generation. The first myth here, what we have been advised is study well, get into a good job. This is what is the advice given by the elders to us. But let us also try to know some facts. Facts is checking information, reality, actuality, truth, and case studies. So what is that we are going to understand from this facts? Whether the first advice given by the elders is a real advice or it's just a myth. So let's try to understand it. Well, as shown in the slide, you can understand what is the global unemployment rate going on right now. It is approximately more than 6% in the emerging world, and in others it is around 5%. And when it comes to Indian unemployment, it is more than 10% as per the recent data. So that's the first myth. So what is the second myth that we have been advised by our elders? So let's understand the second myth. The second myth is whatever you earn, you have to save. This is the second myth. How do you save? By cutting down the expenses. So this is what is the second myth advice given by our elders. So let's try to check the facts. The fact is the world is also having an inflation rates. So, and at the same time, we have also have the Indian inflation rates. So whatever we save, our saving is lesser than the inflation rates. So definitely savings are not going to help us because we are not in a position to control the inflation rates. So what is the best option? Instead of concentrating on savings, it is better to concentrate on increasing your incomes. So let's try to understand the third myth. The third one is minimum wages. See, usually what happens in every corporate or job is that everyone calculates salary in a different way. It might be in either in the form of C2Cs or in the form of regular monthly salaries where there are a number of components included. But actually, minimum wages has to be calculated per hour. Okay, the wages per hour. So let us understand the facts. With respect to the world statistics, the top 10 countries having the minimum wages per hour highest is uh, Australia has around $14.54 and it goes on, and that is what this slide explains about. And when in statistical data, the minimum wages per hour was supposed to be calculated, but in India, the minimum wages per day is calculated, which is around 178 rupees, that is approximately around $2.16, whereas the highest is in Australia around $14. So even if you calculate at the rate of top 20 countries, the minimum wages per hour should be approximately around $9, whereas per hour, $9 per hour, whereas in India we are getting only $2.16 per day. So you can understand the difference between minimum wages and the wages what we actually getting in India. And this is the daily minimum wages in Delhi as per October 2023. So if it is a skilled and semi-skilled, skilled and other details are given in this slide. So let us go to the next myth. Myth number 4. The question here is, can you live or can you make a living with one salary or one income? So let's check the facts. The world map here is given as per the income map, and so this is what is the top 10 world economies, their GDP and their GDP per capita, and as well as the rankings. So let's try to understand, even though India is on the 5th position and we are the 5th topmost world's economy, our GDP is around 3.73 billions. Our per capita is around 2.61, and presently we are ranked around 145th. Whereas the USA, you can check out their GDP is around 26,000, almost all 27,000, and their GDP per capita is 80.41 and they rank at 09. So the nearest one who comes with us is Brazil, situated in rank number 9. So their GDP is around 2.132 billions and their GDP per capita is also approximately around 10.41 and they are still ranked 80th. So this is how, when it comes to GDP per capita, we are ranking at 145th. But whereas when it comes to the topmost economies, we are standing at 5th. So there is a huge gap between the GDP of the country and GDP per capita. So you have to try to understand. And because of this reason, almost all 81% of Indian people would have spent their salary before the month end. So this is the reality. So what are the factors for wealth prosperity? Let's try to understand those. The first one is income. These are the secondary factors for the primary factor, wealth. The secondary factors are incomes, the total income and earning generated from employment, investment, business and other sources. So we have to take this into consideration. Point number 2 is net worth. The difference between your assets such as savings, investment, positions, valuable positions and real estate with your liabilities such as the debts and loans. So that gives your net worth. The third pointing is your savings rate. The percentage of your income that you save and invest for the future, which reflects your ability to build wealth over a period of time. The fourth point here is debt management. The total amount outstanding debt and the effectiveness of your debt management strategy, including your credit card, balances, mortgages and loans. How you are handling your debt management. The next point is investment portfolio. The composition of your investment portfolio includes stocks, bonds, real estate and other assets, which in general gives your guaranteed return. The next point here is emergency fund. 90% of the people would never have created this emergency fund. Emergency fund is required with the existing and the size of an emergency fund that can cover unexpected expenses without restoring your debts. The next point is the quality of life and your lifestyle. Assessing your overall quality of life, including factors like housing, access to your education, healthcare, and the ability to pursue other activities, is because of the secondary factor of lifestyle and quality of your life. The next one is financial goals. How to set and achieve your financial goals. For example, financial goals with respect to buying a car, building a house, retirement savings, your educational funding, your child's marriage, or any other major expenses. So how well you have planned. The next factor is budget and expenses. So do you have a monthly budget or yearly budget which gives you the review of your monthly and annual budget, tracking where your money is spent and identify area for a potential savings or investment. So all these factors help you to get into the profitability. Wealth prosperity, when customized or tailored to an individual person's goals, circumstances and priorities. Moreover, wealth is not only about money or monetary value, but it also includes factors like financial security, well-being, and the pursuit of personal and life goals. With evaluating these parameters regularly, we can help yourself to make informed financial decisions and work towards your desired level of prosperity. So now let's try to understand the second important factor. How is your life with wealth prosperity but no health? Please answer this question in one or two sentences and make a note of it, because you may require it when you analyze the remaining videos. So let's try to analyze now. How is your life without health prosperity? First, let us understand the purpose of health prosperity. Health prosperity involves evaluating various physical, mental, and emotional factors to determine how well an individual is doing in terms of overall well-being. So, here, what is the prosperity is equal to? Prosperity depends on the second primary factor. So, just imagine this scenario. How is your life with wealth prosperity but no health? What does this mean? As for yourself, how is your life without health means you are undergoing stress, you have a lot of discomfort, you are subjected to medical checkups, you are subjected to various kinds of disorders, so continuous illness, you are hospitalized and maybe even in deathbeds, and finally, no health power means RIP, rest in peace, that is the death. So what is the reasons for this? So, did you know that there are two ways of having any reasons? The right knowledge or the wrong knowledge of health. Because right health is equal to power. So even here we have few myths going on. So let us try to understand what are those myths are about. The first one here is fitness. So most of the people feel that if you are physically fit, that means that you are very healthy. So physical fitness makes us healthy. This is what is the myth that is going around. So let us try to understand what exactly is that. So as per the service, we have understood that when we ask this question, physical fitness makes us healthy. Well, only 4% of them have strongly disagreed, 12% have disagreed, 10% are neutral to this, 45% agree, and 30% they strongly agree with this. But let's try to check the facts. The facts are, let us take few examples. Steve Jobs, the Apple CEO. He was physically fit and he had lot of wealth with him, but at the same time he was subjected to cancer. If you are physically fit and you have lot of wealth at your disposal, but still, how come you have been subjected to cancer? There are few similar cases, like our Indian case, Yuvraj Singh. Even he was subjected to cancer. Okay, the next one, Lance Armstrong. He's a cycling expert. Even he was subjected to cancer. The third one, Puneet Rajkumar. He died because of, he was physically fit, but his death was a shock to everyone, and still we don't know what was the reason for his death. But he was physically absolutely 100% fit. Similarly, Siddharth Veer, he collapses in a gym while doing his cardio. Okay, so let's try to understand the reasons for this. Reasons is setting unrealistic goals, relying solely on cardio, overtraining, So let us understand how exactly physical fitness makes our body or contributes it. But if you go in depth, or if you go for the root cause analysis, the body requires fitness only to make the body flexible. If you are not doing any fitness exercise, that means your body is in the rigid state. Okay. If you are doing fitness, your body is in the flexible state. And the overall contribution, what this fitness gives to the overall health, is only about 10%. Let's try to understand the second myth. That's regarding food. So let's try to understand how safe is our food for consumption. When we asked in the survey, this is what was the disclosures. How safe is our food for consumption? Only 8% of the people strongly disagreed with this statement. 14% disagreed. 70% were neutral to this because they were not aware of this, or rather they couldn't answer the query. 7% agreed, and only 1% had strongly agreed to this statement. So let's try to understand what are the facts. The facts are, how can our food be safe if it is subjected to chemical spraying? Is it safe for human consumption? See, this is the precaution taken by the personals who are spraying the pesticides. Look at their precautions taken with respect to their dressings. But after spraying, how can we understand that this whatever pesticides they are spraying, it is safe for us human consumption? Same here. The next, fungicides, herbicides, insecticides, and fertilizers. The question here is, when rainwater cannot wash these chemicals, is it possible for the tap water to wash it? Just ask yourself, is it possible? And most of the food is subjected either to a chemical injection or color spraying. So this is what we have observed in the various news channels broadcasted in India. So let us try to understand how exactly they have been done in the form of videos.
सब्जियों में जहर वाले इंजेक्शन का क्या है?
कार्बाइड से लेकर चाइनीज पुड़िया और इंजेक्शन तक का इस्तेमाल किया। सुर्ख बनाने के लिए उस पर लाल पेंट स्प्रे किया जाता है, जो सेहत के लिए
So people are exclusively using the chemical usage for making few fast bucks, but they are least bothered about the health. Similarly, even in the non-veg segments, we can see there are a lot of chemical components used for preservative. So this is how it has been done in one of the chicken centers. You can just see, watch this video. and this is what was recorded in one of the live sessions.
Good evening. You've heard about mercury levels in fish. It seems really well.
So this is how it is, and when it comes to the overall contribution, we need healthy food to give our body nutrients and contributes only to 25% of the overall health. Now coming to the third reason or fact is water. So there are few myths going on with respect to water. So is our water safe for human consumption? Because let us, as per the survey, is our water consumption creating a healthy body, was the question asked. Strongly disagree is 5%, disagree is 8%, not aware or neutral is 82%, agree is 5%, and strongly agree is 1%. Now let us try to check few facts on this. The first fact A is pollution. So our drinking water has lot of industrial wastes. So how can it be safe for consumption? The second one is lye. This is a chemical used in purification. It is nothing but caustic soda, and this is used to give that water a pH value of 14. The third one is chlorine. So usage of chlorine in tap waters. So then how is it safe for human consumption? Fourth one is reverse osmosis. Well, 99% of the homes are using this technology of reverse osmosis, but in reality the WHO has banned this somewhere around 2008-2009, stating that the reverse osmosis water is not good for human consumption. But 100% of the people are not aware of this. The next factor is dioxins. Today we have the standard methodology of drinking water that are stored in plastic bottles, but plastic bottling is creating dioxins which are creating various cancers in the human body. So because of these various factors, you are subjected to direct or indirect impacts, creating various disorders leading to illness. So let us try to understand what are the different illness that are subjected or disorders that are subjected. So you can see here there are n number of disorders that every human is today subjected because of the three factors: the food, the water, and the fitness. So hence we definitely need miracle water to make our body healthy and energetic, because water contributes to approximately around 65% of our overall health. So now from problem to solution. If you want to move from problem to solution, what is the remedy for this? The remedy is we need to have a prosperous life and the best way to have it is by having an healthy and organic life. So, do you agree with this or disagree? Well, right now after this awareness, most of you agree with this. Now let's try to understand the secondary factors that help us to understand the health prosperity. One has to evaluate their physical health status every often. By doing this, they can understand their physical health, which includes the factors like body weight, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, or any chronic health conditions that they are subjected, or any disorders that may prevail in them. The next factor is nutrition and diet. An assessment of your dietary habits, including the quality and balance of your diet and whether it supports your healthy goals. This is the secondary factors, one of the secondary factors. The next one is exercise and physical activity. An examination of your physical level activity, exercise routine, and whether you meet the recommended guidelines for the fitness, that has to be checked periodically. Now this is the most important one. Sleep with quality and quantity. Because we require at least minimum 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because during this sleep only the body will start repairing itself. So an evaluation for your sleep patterns, quality of sleep and the quantity of sleep has to be considered if you are wanting to have a healthy body. The next one is stress and emotional well-being. An assessment for your stress levels and emotional well-being must include how you manage your stress and how you cope up with that particular stress and its challenges. The next one is mental health. An evaluation for your mental health status, including any symptoms of anxiety, depression, or any other mental health condition, has to be subjected periodically. Tobacco, alcohol, and other substantial usage. Examine your tobacco, alcohol, or other substances and whether they are having a bad impact and what would be the implications of that on your health. You should be checking this periodically. Health insurance and protection. Well, whenever we talk about health prosperity, most of the people what I have had a discussion, they say that, sir, we have a health insurance. Of course, I do agree with it. Your health insurance evaluates your coverage, life insurance, disability insurance, and other form of financial protections. But it only covers your financial aspects. What about the physical and mental aspects that as a patient that individual undergoes, and what is the what about the other members of his family that they have to undergo when that particular patient is subjected to any hospitalization? So no one is talking about this. So please try to understand that there is that angle also. So the best way is to have a preventive health measure. How can we do this? Well, by analyzing whether you and your family are engaged in regularly health checkups, vaccinations, and screening for any early disease detection, and so that you can have the prevention mode implemented. So let us try to understand what is the profitability if you are subjected to health prosperity. Health prosperity takes care into account both your physical and mental well-being, and it is subjected to tailoring of your individual goals and circumstances. Regular monitoring these parameters can help you make informed decisions and take steps to enhance your overall health and well-being of yourself and as well as your family. Now, just imagine this scenario. How is your life with wealth and health prosperity but no knowledge? What would be your answer? Just make a note of your answer in 1 or 2 sentences. Well, if you don't have knowledge means that your prosperity is in a question mark and depends on the third primary factor, because knowledge is nothing but power. So if you do not have knowledge, that means no knowledge means ignorance. So let's try to understand the purpose of having knowledge. Assessing knowledge prosperity involves evaluating your intellectual growth, skills for your personal and professional achievements. Learning is to gain your knowledge. As we all know that every human being is unique, right? And hence the percentage of prosperity depends on 2 important subfactors here. One of them is your strengths and the other is your weaknesses. Okay, so even here we have few myths. So let us try to understand the first one. Can I be prosperous with a job or business? So let us understand what is the broader classification of earning community. 85% of the earning community are employed and 15% are business owners. Out of this 15%, there are more than 5% who are in self-employed, 9% are entrepreneurs, and only 1% are multipreneurs. So let's try to understand the facts. Employed or job, okay, the employees data. So when we had a survey, we are trying to understand the satisfaction in the current job. Only 34% of the survey tells that they are happy with the current job. 66% of them are not happy with the current job, and the reasons they have given is 78 out of the 66% gave the reason that they wanted additional incomes, and only 22% said they want to balance between work and life. And out of this change of jobs, within 2 years 61% of the employees wanted to change. 24% of them were subjected to change in their jobs between the 2nd year and the 5th year, and only 15% were subjected to change in their jobs above 5 years. So age wise, we just had a survey that when they want, what is the percentage of people who would like to have change in their jobs. Below 25% were 82%, rather it was below 25 years, 82% wanted change in job. Between 26 and 45, 73% wanted change in job, and above 45 years, 61% wanted change in job. The second secondary factor is the business owners. So let us try to understand what is the data with respect to the business owners. Let us first check out with the startup data. Every year there are a number of companies that are starting, and even in the media and the government data, you only get the data with respect to the startups starting. But we are going on the other vertical, the closure of new business. So as per our survey, we have found that within the second year, 76% of the businesses are closed. Between second and fifth year, 15% of the businesses are closed. Between fifth and 10th year, 6% of the businesses are closed. So that means that only 3% are surviving for more than 10 years. They are surviving because they are competent. In the next, this one. So what is the reasons for startups failure? Well, 18% of them said that inability to source finance. 29% of them said inefficient product or service was the cause for their failure. 17% said that incompetent administration or operations made them fail. 31% said ineffective marketing and sales strategy was the reason for their failure. And 15% said inconsistent customer care or customer objection handling or customer servicing was the reason for their failure. So actually we are supposed to find a solution to every problem. So we need prosperous life to have a breakthrough knowledge. Do you agree with this statement or disagree? Most of them agree with this statement. So the secondary factors for the knowledge of prosperity. The first one is continuous learning. One has to make a commitment to ongoing learning and personal development, including participating in courses, workshops, seminars, and self-directed learning. The second one is secondary factor is the depth of the knowledge. The depth and breadth of your expertise in specific areas, reflecting your ability to acquire specialized knowledge and skills. So you should know the depth of your knowledge. The next one is critical thinking skills. Your ability to analyze, evaluate, and critically think about the information, and also you have to solve it critically as well as logically. The next is problem solving ability. The capacity where you can apply your knowledge and skills to solve a minor or a complex problem, make decisions, and innovate the methodologies that you are going to use for solving that particular problem. The next one is information literacy. Your skills in effectively finding, evaluating, using information from various sources, both online and offline. So when you have the information, then only you can be in a position to solve any problem. Next is adaptability and flexibility. Your capacity to adapt yourself with new information, technology, and the changing circumstances reflects your ability to stay relevant in this dynamic world. The next one is one of the most important secondary factors, your communication skills. Your proficiency in conveying information, ideas, and concepts clearly and effectively, both in writing as well as verbally, to the other party makes him to understand and resolve the issue. This is one of the most important skills required. The next one is teaching and mentoring skills. Your ability to share your knowledge and expertise with others, whether through formal training, teaching, or informal mentoring. The next one is networking and collaboration. Your involvement in knowledge sharing networks, collaborative projects, and communities that foster learning and the exchange of ideas to create a win-win situation for all the parties who are involved in it. So let us try to understand the profitability from all these factors. Based on the understanding, your knowledge prosperity is a dynamic process that can be involved for both formal and informal indicators. It's important to set personal goals and regularly review your progress in each of these areas to ensure that you are continuously growing in knowledge as well as in your expertise. So, what is the next step for your prosperity? Send a WhatsApp message to your facilitator or your partner's mobile as mentioned below. YPL underscore V4 so that you can get the link to the next video, that is the fourth video. See you in the next video.